Hi everybody, welcome. I am Veve Magic, and today I'm bringing you a spooktacular episode because it is Halloween season and I love all things Halloween centric, especially when it comes to Disney. And I recently went to the Oogie Boogie Bash at Disneyland California Adventure, and so I wanted to share a video of my experience and the parks and why I love Halloween time at Disneyland so much. Firstly, I love it because the decor is off the charts, amazing, phenomenal. Secondly, the weather is just cooling off and starting to get really nice. Perfect time of year to go for those that live in other states. And you get to experience things during Halloween time you don't any other time of year, whether it be food offerings or merchandise or certain characters. Especially if you go to Oogie Boogie Bash, you'll see characters that you don't basically ever see out in the parks any other time. And I will show you some of those. And also, just the overall vibe is like kind of my style, especially at night. I love how everything looks, and it's not terribly crowded. Winter and Christmas season is far more crowded, so I tend to focus more on Halloween time. But Oogie Boogie Bash is a special ticketed event, so you can only go to it if you purchase tickets for that event. You can't just purchase a ticket to go to the park and expect the event to be there. The tickets went on sale, I want to believe it was June, so over the summer, which a lot of people miss out on because nobody's really thinking about Halloween time at June. So you have to be kind of up to date and following the Disney pages to know that it's coming up. So I booked them the day of, and I think they sold out in less than a week, which is kind of incredible because I want to say there's somewhere between 22 and 26 nights that this event goes on, September through October. I think the first dates might actually be at the end of August, possibly. I'm forgetting the dates. So I went at the end of September, and I picked those dates personally because they're a little bit more affordable. Still kind of warm, so I don't recommend it for everybody. The event starts at 6 p.m. and goes to 11, but you have early access into the park starting at 3. And then what you do is you check in your tickets, and then you're giving a wristband, and it says for the event night and the event title. And then there's also a QR code here, and this was new this year. They scanned this anytime you wanted to take pictures with a photographer, and it just made it really easy. You could then scan with your phone. They scanned it with their device, and the pictures automatically link. And then on your phone in the app, you scan this QR code and your pictures are automatically updated or uploaded to the app. So super convenient and easy and less paperwork for them. They're not having to hand out cards to everybody. So that was a really good addition. But this is the way that they can keep track of who should be in the park and who shouldn't when the event starts. And they do check your wristbands. But speaking of the photo pass, just today, Disney put out a video about how they are incorporating more and more AR into their photo pass opportunities. It's just becoming so advanced. I mean, I can remember they used to just they would have you like put your hands out and they could put Tinkerbell inside your hands, and they're getting more and more advanced, and they'll give you different backgrounds now, and some of them will be animated. But this video, if you haven't checked it out, go to Disneyland's page on either Instagram or Twitter. I also retweeted it. But it's incredible that they're just getting things to pop up, and the AR is really, really coming to life. And I think that's super exciting, especially for those of us that are into veve, to see where the tech is going, and how they're all going to work together and commingle. So that was a really exciting thing for me to stumble upon today with the PhotoPass services. But speaking about the ambience and decor of the park is just so well done, especially at night. If you get the opportunity, please try to go at night, because everything's pretty dark, but then there's just purple fluorescent lighting everywhere, and they make it spooky without being scary for the children. And everything's very themed. My favorite area would be Cars Land, because they use like auto parts to symbolize different things. Like they have them dressed up in ways so that they look like spiders, and the cones have scary faces cut out in them as if they're a jack-o'-lantern, and then there's like ghosts made out of parts, and it's just so clever. And then there's the purple fluorescent lighting everywhere, and then like Tow Mater's ride. Now he has bat wings on in front of the ride, and it's just very, very well done. Each of the cars that comes out has a costume. I didn't see Red this year, but he's usually a clown. And we've had Cruz Ramirez. Was she? I forgot what she was in a year past. I feel like she was a rock star, or that may have been, what's his name? DJ. But she had a great costume one year. But this visit, I only saw Mater and Lightning McQueen, and I will show you video of them and all of Cars Land because it is something to behold. And then after that, there's also Carthage Circle, which I've done a video on. That's sort of like the forefront of the event. And it says Oogie Boogie Bash on the building, and it's lit up. And the technology that they use, I don't know how they do it, but it's just amazing projections. Every so often, like a show happens on the building, and I didn't catch all of it because my camera died, but I did capture some of it, so you can see that and how interesting and unique and just well done that is. And then also with the event, you're going to see characters that you don't ever see any other time of year. Some of them are doing photo ops like Hercules was. Other ones you will see on the treat trails, and I'm going to do a whole montage of the treat trails so you could see those characters. They included Madam Mim, Mother Gothel, Maleficent, Ernesto de la Cruz, which that was new this year, and he was incredible. That was, aside from Oogie Boogie, he's my favorite. I mean, he puts on a show. I wish they kind of had you filter through a line just because he was so popular to, the line had to keep moving. But I could have stayed and watched him for like 10 minutes because the show he puts on is so, so good. Sid is another one of my favorites from Toy Story. The character, the cast member that they had cast to do him is like so spot on. And my group, it was a group of 9 that went. We dressed all as Toy Story characters. And so it was really fun to interact with him, having seen us, be Toy Story characters. The other thing I wanted to point out, which was kind of spoke to me, is a lot of people know that Zombie Cap is like my favorite character to see at Halloween. And this year he only came out for one appearance, and that was the D23 Oogie Boogie Bash. So members of D23 got a specific night that was available only to them. So you had to be a member, which I'm not one of, in order to go to that event. So there's utility, right? And that was the only time that Captain America Zombie Cap was seen. And so the cast members that do these meet and greets in the treat trails, they have sort of a script that they adhere to. And a couple of times there was a person that would walk by dressed as Captain America, and he goes, "Oh, look, another Zombie Cap. Weird, he only showed up once this year. That's lame. I wonder why that is." So the fact that that was built into his script, I really paid attention to and thought that was interesting, because that's certainly a complaint of mine. I was really looking forward to seeing him. I've still never seen him in person. And it's such a well done character. Like, in terms of the character I've seen at the park, but like, and again, I haven't seen him in person, but by far my favorite in terms of costume and mannerisms and everything. So that was a bummer, but really interesting that that was sort of built into his script. So maybe he'll come back sooner than later and be sort of in the parks more. I would love to see that, Disney. And then Oogie Boogie is the staple. So this was the first year. I've done this party, I think 4 years. The first year it was at the other side, and they moved it over to California Adventure, I think about 4 years ago. I might be misquoting. But I've never seen Oogie Boogie. So that was the first stop that I had to do, is I wanted to see him in action. And that one, other than Ernesto de la Cruz, but the experience in totality, Oogie Boogie is the best. Like, you walk into the Animation Academy building, and all the screens, you're going to see it as we walk through it, but all the screens just have so much going on. There's so much to look at and absorb, and then he looks phenomenal, and the voicing is perfect, and yeah, so that's certainly a must. If you go to this event, you've got to see Oogie Boogie. So A lot of people love this event for those experiences and getting the interaction. A lot of people also, I'd be okay. I love the event because the lines for the rides are like non-existent. Like you can get basically everything done in California Adventure that night because everybody's doing these treat trails or what's it called? The Villain's Grove. And there's a couple other experiences, the parade, and those all take quite a bit of time. So the lines for the rides are pretty minimal. My kids are at the age where they love trick-or-treating. So, and we go enough that they don't really care about the rides. So we went to almost all the treat trails. We missed one at Avengers Campus, and there may have been one other one we didn't hit, but we hit almost every single treat trail. I weighed it, and I will show you a picture of the scale and the bag. We took home 10 pounds of candy. That is absurd. Nobody needs that much candy. But let's just say Disneyland is very, very generous with their handouts. I can't even imagine how many pounds of candy they dish out every single event that they do this for, especially if there's, 24 of them? Bananas. That is absolutely wild. So yeah, we're never even gonna get through that. I'm probably gonna recycle it to our trick-or-treaters. But for those that are into that, yeah, you will go home with a full bag. Along with the treat trails, going back to utility. If you're a pass holder, under the Silly Symphony Swings is a specific area that is just for pass holders. So you have to take out your phone, you have to scan your passes, prove that you have your annual pass. And the first stop is they gave out these little bags, and they kind of look like a water bottle holder, I would say. Or you could put candy in them, and then on the side it says Magic Key, because that's what the passes are called now. But nothing too fancy, but you know, people love free things, so everyone gets in line for that. The second stop was a full-size candy bar, which was the only place you could get that in the park. And then the third stop was a specific photo op themed Nightmare Before Christmas, which you could not get anywhere else in the park. So those are the things that always go through my mind when talking about utility and things for special groups of people within Disney. So, you know, you have D23 members that get special sorts of utilities. You have annual pass or key holders that get special perks and utilities. So things that could always be expanded upon in the future, right? The other thing I noticed with this event is it's a great time for them to do specific targeted marketing. The thing they were pushing this time the most was Hocus Pocus 2. So it was releasing, or it is now available. And so they give you bags when you walk in, and clearly is, you know, saying Hocus Pocus 2. It's also promoting Disney Plus all over it. And then also they had the Sanderson sisters, Minnie Mouse, Daisy Duck, and Clarabelle dressed as them. And I took video of them, but I did not get in that line because it was a 45-minute wait. This event's only 5 hours. 45-minute wait to see them. And they were fabulous. I did watch them in action. I mean, they had like dance moves and they really interacted with every guest, which again is why it takes so long. But the point is, Disney loves to use these events for targeted marketing. And so again, me sort of speculating and forward thinking, there's always ways to look at how things could be marketed in the future for our benefit. So my favorite part of the event is Mickey's Frightfully Fun Parade. It's a staple. It's the same parade every year, maybe a little tweak or addition here and there. But I just love the vibe of it. It brings me so much joy and happiness. And every year it starts out with Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. They sort of lead the pack, and then there's like a brief hold until the parade starts. And I get goosebumps every time because if you know me, I'm an equestrian. I love horses, and that is my dream Disney job. If I were to ever work for them, I would love just a seasonal or even one night in the entire year where I could be the Headless Horseman, because it combines all of my favorite things. I used to ride horses that look just like that Headless Horseman horse, and It's Halloween. It's everything I love about Halloween. And you kind of get to scare kids, and I think that's kind of fun at Halloween time. So yeah, fun fact. That's like my dream Disney job if I ever had the opportunity to do that. So the parade is really, really fun. It's spooky without being too scary. The scariest part is these men with shovels, just because it's loud and sparks, so some kids get frightened. Oh, and the tall walking guys. There's these guys on stilts. They're kind of scary. But I am including some of my favorite bits and pieces of the parade so you can kind of get a feel for what it's like. I may post a separate video with it all kind of together with the music and everything, so you can see the whole experience if you so choose. Villains Grove is another thing to check out in terms of ambiance at Oogie Boogie Bash. It is a really interesting part of the park. It takes over what is normally the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, which is basically a playground or park for your kids inside Disneyland California Adventure. It's a great place for the kids to blow off steam, or if it's kind of busy and you want to let things die down. They have slides and tire swings and rock walls, all sorts of things for kids to do. Chip and Dale like to go through there and visit. My kids love that spot. So if you ever go to California Adventure, great place to visit if it's busy, or you just want something else to do besides rides. But it does get shut down for this sort of layover of Villains Grove. And what's interesting about it is it's spooky, but there's nothing popping out at you. There's no characters inside it. It's all about like innovation, technology, lighting, special effects to help convey specific villains in Disney. So you walk through this entire area and it takes probably about 10 minutes, and each specific area correlates to its own villain. And so it's for you to determine, based off of the elements and things you're seeing, hearing what character does that depict, whether it be the Queen of Hearts or Scar, so on and so forth. But it's just very interesting to walk through there. That'll get you kind of thinking about technology and where they're going. It was just such an interesting thing that they've done with that. So I'll show you parts of that walkthrough so you can kind of get a feeling for what that experience is like. It's super interesting, and again, like, points to me like sort of where the technology is going and immersion, how they are always working on new ways to make experiences super immersive. So very interesting if you go to the party to check that one out as well. So towards the end of the night, we happened to look at our map. We usually kind of know where everything is, but we happened to look at the map, and I was happy we did, because we found a new show that we hadn't seen before, and we didn't know much about it, but we decided to check it out. And it was in the room that is normally like the Disney Junior Dance Party, which is sort of like toddler age, where they go through some of the Disney Junior shows and have the characters come out, and it's interactive and the kids can dance, and there'll be bubbles falling from the ceiling, or snow, or leaves, or streamers. And so it's a fun experience for kids. But this one was called Mickey's Trick and Treat. And what was really great about it is it's one of the only places that I saw so many characters come out like all together. You had Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and what I loved too is they were all in different costumes than you would normally see them in the parks. So it was like specific costumes for that show. So I'll show a clip of that show as well. But yeah, if you have kids love it. And I think it may have been new this year because there wasn't that many people in there. And I think the show ran 2 or 3 times during the evening. And yeah, when we went, it was not even halfway full. So I think a lot of people were like us and didn't even know that it was going on. And then at the end, they gave them more candy as they exited. So that was a cool addition. I really liked that one. So I hope you enjoy the overview of Oogie Boogie Bash and all that it entails and why I love the event so much. It's my Halloween tradition, and I will keep doing it probably as long as I can. And this year I will also be going to Florida to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party at Magic Kingdom at Disney World. So if you're interested in seeing stuff when I'm over there, please feel free to comment below and let me know. And see you guys next time. Thank you.
I would say you could guess my age. Go right ahead, guess it. Probably, yes. I have no idea how old I am. Yes. All right. Bye, Maylin. Horrible to meet you. A red panda. Never been one of those before, but I think I might. Well, look at all of you. You look absolutely horrifying. And you, especially, absolutely horrifying.
Careful what you say, dear. Remember, I'm careful. You toys be real careful on the boardwalk.
Must be mistaken.
Hello. Leaving me behind. Fine. I see how it is.
You know what's worse than not being invited to the party? Being uninvited. Lift your wings for a proper portrait and say my name on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me.
And now you let it fall off your head. The popcorn's gonna go bad. I'm not replacing it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more toys to add to the collection. Do you want any upgrades? Like baby face? Like the strongest duck alive? Or the tightrope terror? Too bad, I'm making the upgrades later. You don't have a choice.
Well, if you do, tell him that Mr. Oogie Boogie is looking for him. Well, you're really something.